Hi, my name is Colby Jones. I am an executive leadership coach and I help women lead high performing teams while still being able to maintain their work life balance. So, today I want to talk about healthy work environments and why they're important to being a good leader. So, healthy work environments do a couple things. They help build trust and they help enable productivity and high work performance. So, these are two things that are essential to having a high performing team and maintaining good standing within your team. Another thing is that it just feels good to come to work, right? Have you ever been in that situation? You've been at a job where you're just kind of, you get there in the mornings. Now, this is pre COVID, of course, but you get there in the mornings and you're sitting in your car and you're just like, I don't want to go, and it doesn't feel good to go into work. I just would rather just go home. And you kind of sit there for a minute, kind of get your brain together, and then you go in and complete your work day. Well, that's something that we want to avoid, right? You don't want to be that leader that is responsible for that reaction from your team. So you want to make sure that you're maintaining a healthy work environment. It also promotes longevity and it lowers the turnover rate, right? Nobody likes to see high turnover in their teams. So this is something that you really want to make sure that you're doing. You know, people stay in jobs or they leave jobs because of leadership, right? If you're doing a good job, if you're making your team feel good, your staff feel good, they're going to stay. If you're not, they're going to leave. You know, most of the time, there's so many studies out there about why people leave jobs, and a high number, like a high reason as to why people leave is because of poor management and poor leadership. So you want to keep that in mind when you're building your team, when you're trying to maintain your team, where you're trying to get your team to that next level. So that's something that you really want to make sure that you're doing. A couple other things to keep in mind is that in order to create that healthy work environment, you have to do a couple things. You have to be good at managing crisis events and staying calm in the event of a crisis, no matter what field you're in. Now, I'm coming from the human services field, right? So there's always some type of crisis going on with the client or with staff or what may be, but it kind of doesn't matter, right? And a crisis can come up anywhere at any time. So you as a leader need to be able to know how to manage that crisis and stay calm during those times, because your staff and everybody else around you is going to be worked up. You need to be the person that they look to for guidance. And then on the flip side, you need to know who you need to go to whenever you're starting to feel like, okay, I'm really struggling trying to get this done, trying to do this. So you want to make sure that you have those people in mind of where you, because it's a lot to take on your shoulders whenever you're trying to deal with a crisis situation. So know who you need to go to whenever you need some time to debrief and, figure out the situation. Another thing you need to do is show empathy. I cannot express this enough, especially during times of COVID. People are struggling, right? We don't want staff to just feel like a number. We don't, and businesses are struggling as well. I'm fully aware of that. But if you can't have a good team if they don't feel good, right? If they're struggling, whether it's at home, whatever it may be, you have to be able to make sure that you're at least providing them some support while they're at work. So please be empathetic to your staff and to people that you engage with on a daily basis, even the people that you're selling your products to, or that may be coming to you for your services. Show empathy all around. And the last thing that you need to be able to do, there's a lot more, but the last thing that I'm going to speak about is being able to de-escalate a situation that has high emotions, right? We always have to hold staff and people accountable as leaders. You have to have boundaries, and sometimes people push those boundaries and people don't do what they need to be doing performance wise. So you have to hold them accountable. That can bring along high emotions and difficult conversations. So you have to be good at de-escalating those. You have to know when you need to walk away from a conversation. You need to know when you need to come back to the conversation, because you can't just sweep things under the rug and let it go. Your team's not going to perform well. So know how to de-escalate a situation and what you need to do to move forward to be able to bring some normalcy back into your work environment. So if you have, or you're struggling with any of those, or you see some of that happening in your business or in your team that you're supporting, please reach out to me. I'm always available. You can set up a consultation call, have a quick chat, and we can see if there's anything that I'm doing that can help support you in those times of need. So thank you for tuning in today. Be on the lookout for the next videos. Be on the lookout for my leadership toolbox coming soon. And, subscribe to my email list. It's right there in the post. LiveToLeadCoaching.com. Quick and easy. Pop on the website and just put your information in, and you're right there in my email list. All right. Well, you all have a good afternoon, and I will be talking to you soon.